Good morning. Hi, my name is Sara. Welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. And we are going to start in a few minutes. I'm going to head over to my mat and I will explain what we need this morning. So, happy Friday. I do have some props that you may or may not need. So, this is a great opportunity to go and grab those. I have blocks, a blanket, I also have a cushion. I do have my water, always good to hydrate. So those are all options. Do not feel pressure that you need those. They're just, as you go through the class, you'll be able to see how I use them. And then if you log on again, maybe things you want to maybe invest in or grab or find alternatives. Instead of a blanket, you can use a towel. So just find a comfortable spot on your mat. We will be starting in a seated position today in about 4 minutes. So happy Friday. I'm sorry I missed you guys last week. I'm now back. So yeah, make yourselves comfortable. If you're just joining, it's a great opportunity to grab any props that you think you may need. Grab water and take breaks at any point. Friday is always a special day for many of us. So it's the end of the week. We got through one more week. Yay. But yeah, just got a couple more minutes. And just make yourselves comfortable. Believe it or not, this is a comfortable position for me. We will not start in this. So we will all be starting in like an easy pose, but I'll give everyone a few minutes to join us this morning. And welcome. So again, if you just joined us, happy Friday. Maybe as you sit here, just take a few minutes to just focus on your breath, which we're going to focus on in a minute, but just take a moment, close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Find that peaceful, happy place on your mat. I just call it my safe space. And we'll start in only a minute, so we're almost there. Again, if you're just joining us, don't feel you have to, but if you would like to grab any blocks, a blanket, a pillow, you may not even need these throughout the class day. We are going to do a lot in tabletop today. That's going to be our foundation pose. So if you've got any issues with the knees, a blanket or towel may benefit you. So that is something to consider before we begin this class this morning. So we're going to be primarily on a mat. And as I said, the foundation pose will be tabletop. We will be doing a lot from there. So it's going to be good. Okay, it's 9:30. Well, welcome to Operation Remote Resilience. My name is Sara. I am a certified Warriors Ease Level 2 teacher. And I'm going to guide you through a 30-minute class today. We're going to work on arms, hips, opening those up. We may do a little bit for our abs and our glutes, the whole body workout. Our yoga class, should I say. So we're going to start sitting. I like to sit on my block. Just relieves those hips and knees a little bit. But you choose where you would like to be this morning. And see how my knees and hips just really able to hang here for a moment. So find that comfortable position. If easy pose isn't, you can come into here like poses on your knees. So find that comfortable point with your eyes open or closed. And I just want you to take a moment to focus on your breath, just as it is. Your hands resting on your knees. You can have your hands to heart center. Whatever is comfortable for you. Allowing each part of your body to rest. Resting the shoulders, hips, the knees, even the head a little bit. Just focus on your breath, just as it is, without judgment. And a great way is to put one hand on the belly and one on the upper chest. And just take a moment to acknowledge any movement. As we progress through these 30 minutes, we're going to bring more attention to breathing through the belly. Open up that diaphragm. In this first moment, I just want you to notice your breath. From here, we're going to work on 3-part breaths. We're going to take a deep inhale. We're going to expand that belly. Feel that rise of that rib cage all the way to the upper chest. And then as you exhale, feel a release in that rib cage. And as your belly button comes all the way down to your spine. So again, don't be so quick to take your next inhale, but when you're ready, take another deep inhale. Really allow that belly to expand. If you have a heaven in your belly, you'll feel that. And allow that air to rise up that rib cage all the way to that upper chest. And then slowly exhale. Releasing that rib cage, coming down all the way down. The belly button's coming in. We'll do that one more time. So when you're ready, we won't breathe differently. So we're going to take a deep inhale, really allowing that belly to expand. Feeling the air travel all the way up to that collarbone. Or perhaps for a moment. And then exhale. Releasing that rib cage, allowing that belly button to come all the way down to your side. And really, as we progress, I want you to really focus on that belly breath. Really align that belly to expand as we move through our practice today. So we're going to gently now bring our hands to our knees. We're just going to stretch the neck. So we're going to bring that right ear towards that right shoulder. So try not to bring the shoulder to the ear. The ear is gently. If you need a little assistance, you can also take this right hand and gently place it on top of the head. Just gently bring it over. But please listen to your body. It's just a gentle stretch. Just waking up the body this morning. And then coming back to center. And then we're going to go over to the left. So again, those shoulders are nice and relaxed. And again, if you'd like a little assistance, you can take that left hand, gently place it on top of that head. And gently bring it over towards that left shoulder. So the ear is coming towards the shoulder. Close the shoulder, come towards the ear. If that makes sense. And then gently coming back. So we're going to do a gentle twist. So we're going to bring that right hand behind that left arm on that knee. We're going to gently twist over to that right side. We're not going to go far to start off with. If it's in your practice, you can gently then open up that shoulder to look behind. We're just starting off, so you can look to the side. And then come back to center. So we'll do the other side. So that left hand comes to the mat gently behind you. Right hand to that knee. And then gently twist to that left side. Again, if it's in your practice, you can then open up that shoulder to look behind. So we twist at the waist. What you want to remember. And then gently back to center. So this time we're going to use the arms in that stretch. So we're going to inhale those arms up if that feels comfortable to you. And then gently twist. You may be able to get a little deeper now. You can gently look to that right side, or you can open up that shoulder to look behind. And then inhale up, it feels good in those arms, otherwise you can go back to that original one. And then exhale over to that right side. And again, if it's in your practice, you can look behind, open up that shoulder, and then gently look behind. Or you can gently still get a nice little twist if you look to the left. And then back to center. So we're going to come into our tabletop. That is going to be our foundation pose for this class, and we're going to move from there in various different directions. So for tabletop, your wrists are under those shoulders. You can have your feet flat or flexed. Really depends on you. We're trying to create a flat back as best we can. So we're going to do cat-cow. So we're going to take a deep inhale. Remember that belly breath. Really expand that belly, looking up gently. Listen to your neck. And then exhale, chin to chest like a cat. Really arching that back. So I'm going to do a couple more of these at your own breath. Again, we breathe differently. So take a deep inhale. Expand that belly. And then exhale, chin to chest. One more time. Take a deep inhale. And then exhale, chin to chest. And come back to tabletop. So we're in our tabletop. And we're going to stretch those shoulders. I love the needle. So I'm going to take this right hand. We're going to gently spread it under. Now you can have a blanket under your shoulder. I mentioned a blanket under your knees, but you can have a blanket under that shoulder for support. You can have your hand gently by your head. Oh, you can get a nice little stretch if you have healthy shoulders. You can get a stretch here. If you want to incorporate a gentle twist, you can take that arm and gently twist on that lower back. That right arm is nice and straight. There are different options. And you go where your body needs to go today. And again, an option is definitely to have a blanket under those knees or a towel. You can have one under that shoulder. Maybe even resting for your head. Lots of different options. And again, still focusing on that belly. Move in and out. And then on your next breath, we're going to gently, especially if you've got that hand behind your back, we're going to gently bring it back. Gently come out of that pose. And we're going to sit back into child's pose to release and re-stretch the spine, realign the spine. If you feel any pressure in your shoulders, you can just naturally allow those elbows to bend and come down to the mat. Lots of different variations. You can even release those hands completely and have them by your side, palms up. Forehead is down to the mat. Just take a moment, feeling that movement in the belly. And then we'll gently come back to tabletop. So you're going to stay where you are. I'm just going to turn around just so you can see what I'm doing. So we're back in a nice, beautiful tabletop. Now we're going to take that left hand. I'm going to thread it under and then gently bring that left shoulder down to the mat. Again, you can have that hand right by your head. Or you can gently stretch it out in front for a nice stretch here. Or if you want to incorporate a little twist, You can bring it gently behind your back. But lots of different options and the way your body needs to go today. As we practice yoga, our body's different every day. We need to accept where we are in the moment without judgment. And again, focusing on that belly, movement in the belly. And if you've got your hand behind your back on your next breath, gently bring it back down to the mat. It's stretched out, also bring it back down. And then gently come out of that pose. And we'll sit one more time into child's pose. You want a deeper stretch on the hips. You can bring those knees as wide as the mat, toes together, and gently sit back also. So you pick where you need to go today. And again, really focusing on that breath. Moving in the belly. Take a moment. And then gently come back to tabletop. So in our tabletop here, I'm going to take that right leg out. Foot is nice and flexed. How many of you know where this is going now? Making sure also those wrists are under those shoulders one more time. So you can stay right here. This is a lot of balancing for many of us. Or you can take the left hand and come up into upward. Don't feel like you have to. Really flex that foot, trying to straighten out that knee a little bit. And then coming down and into another child's pose. Just really testing out that balance for a moment in that position. There's a lot we can do from that simple tabletop. And then we'll come back tabletop. So we're going to come back into that pose. So we're going to bring that right leg, foot nice and flexed. Again, you do what you can do. We're going to bring that arm. And then if you'd like to add a crunch, you do not have to. I'm going to gently bring that knee and elbow to meet and come out. Knee and elbow meeting and out. You can just hold that static balance with that leg up also. One more. And back down to tabletop. And we'll stretch, rewind into our child's pose. Taking a moment to really focus on that breath. These moments in child pose, a great moment to just take that time to notice that movement in the belly once more. And come back to tabletop. We're almost done with this side, so I'm going to bring that right leg up. Both hands on the mat. Foot is flexed, and then we're going to point that sole of the foot to the sky. I'm just going to work the glute a little bit. So we're going to gently bring it down, hovering over the mat, and gently kick it up. We're going to gently bring it down, and gently kick it up. Gently bring it down, gently kick it up, gently bring it down, and kick it up. And then from here, we're going to do little pulses, or you can keep that hold. You do not have to do the little pulses if you do not want to. Keep the arms nice and straight as much as you can. Few more. 1, 2, 3. And then gently bring that down and come back to that child pose one more time. Again, focusing on that belly. And then on your next breath, come back. Tabletop. So I'm going to do the other side. So I'm just going to turn around so that you can see. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. So we're going to bring that left leg, flexing that foot. Again, making sure those wrists underneath those shoulders. You can stay right here as we have done before, or you can take that right arm up. It does take a lot of balance, so don't be hard on yourself. Still a lot of balance just with that leg up in the air. And then gently bringing that hand, then that knee, and come back into that child pose as we realign the spine. And again, also focusing on that breath, movement in the belly. Just gently getting into this, finding our balance this morning, and then coming back to our tabletop. So this is where we can add the crunch if we like, or you can just hold the static pose, either with the leg up or adding the arm. And if you want to add the crunch, gently bringing that elbow and knee to meet, and coming out. Inhaling, and then release. 2 more. 1 more. Holding it for a moment if you can. Flexing that foot. I know you have to sometimes have to remind myself too. And then bring that hand down, bringing that knee down, and then gently coming into child's pose. We got 1 more to do. I'm going to come gently up. Bring that leg out. This time, just the leg. And then bend that knee, bring the sole foot to the sky. So I'm going to do those again. I'm going to gently bring that knee towards the mat, hovering, and up. Bringing it down, and up. We're not going to do many, so that's okay. I'm going to get class goes so quick. 3, and then 4. And on the next one, we're going to hold it up there if we can. We can just hold it, or you can add those little pulses. You choose where you want to go. Just holding that pose, you're still igniting that glute, working that. Do a few more. And then gently bring it down. And 1 more time, child's pose. Stretching those arms out if you can, to naturally allow those elbows to fall to the mat. And just focus on that breath. Forehead is to the mat. Then coming gently back to tabletop. So I'm only going to turn around so that you can get a better visual. So we're still in our tabletop position, and this may be where you want to block handy, possibly. So you're in your tabletop, and you're going to bring that right leg out to the side. Try and create a straight line. Really bringing the inside of that foot into the mat. And then if you can, we're going to bring the elbows down to the mat, or you can use a block. So you're going to either come back in a nice stretch in those hips here, or you can use a block on either level and rest those elbows. And just allow that neck to just rest for a moment. So get a nice stretch all down this right leg and that hip. And again, you don't have to use the block, but it can be very useful. 1 more breath. And then gently bring those hands to the mat. And gently come up into a pose. And from here, if the arms, it's something you can always bring them to the hips if that's too much to have the arms up. And then we're going to slide that right arm down that leg. Again, you can have it on the hip, bring up to the sky, just get a nice stretch here. And then we're going to come over to the left. This is where the block is also useful. I'm going to bring that hand to the mat or the block, and then come up with that arm up to the sky. You can gently look up if that's good on your hip. I mean, not your hip, on your neck, sorry. And or you can move forward. And then we will release. So we're going to bring those hands back down. Gently bring that right knee to meet the left. So we're going to do the other side. So we've got our hands firmly planted. We're going to bring that left one out to the side. So you're really digging in the inside of that foot into the mat. And so again, you can use your block, or you can gently come down on those elbows. We're allowing that neck and head to relax. Again, the block, you can even have it at this higher point and just resting those. Having that right foot nice and flat on the mat. Or if you want to keep a more active pose, you can flex that foot. And then we'll gently bring the hands to the mat first. And then gently come up. Remember, you can have those arms up to the sky, or you can have them on your hips. Bring that left hand, slide it down that leg, and then bring that arm up on the hip. Bring a nice stretch here. Inhaling up. Then we're going to come over to the right side. Remember, you can use your block, or bring your hand down on the mat, arm up to the sky. You can gently look up. Or you can look to the side, depending how that feels on your neck. Some beautiful stretches here this morning. And then we're going to gently release. So bring those hands down on the mat first, then bring that left to meet that right, and we'll come into one more child's pose. And again, using that breath. There are so many wonderful poses you can do from tabletop. And then we'll just gently come up on the knees. We're going to do it here for the moment. And then we're just going to come onto the glutes. You're going to bring those legs out in front. We're just going to do a gentle stretch forward, first of all. So you can have your hands come up to the sky and reach for those toes. Or you can allow the hands to slide down. So you go where you need to be. And you may go to your ankles. But the idea is we're going to stretch forward. Allow that body to curve. This one, we even allow that spine to curve a little bit and reach for the toes. Remember, you can also slide those hands down towards those ankles. And maybe this is where you are today, and that's okay. Allow that neck and head to relax. Take one more breath. And then gently come up. So find it comfortable. You may want to move a little bit, depending on where you're on your mat. I'm going to gently come all the way down. Wherever you need to come down. I like to go a little slower, just ignite my abs a little bit. So we're down on the mat. You can have a blanket underneath your head. That's always nice. And we're going to bring this right knee towards our chest. And we're going to clasp those hands and place those fingers just below the knee. Very important. It may help to flex that left foot. So you can really allow that nice straight line on the mat. And then we're going to gently bring it towards that right armpit. It also helps to gently tuck that chin looking almost to your knee to allow that neck to be nice. Do a nice neck stretch here. We call this wind removing. Beautiful stretch. And then we'll gently release that leg. And then we're going to bring the left closer to the chest and lift those fingers right below that left. Again, you can flex that right foot, helps that calf come to the mat. And then we're going to gently bring it in using that breath. Bring it towards that left armpit. So we're trying to avoid the rib cage. And again, tucking that chin will help to really lengthen the neck. Using that breath. And then gently bringing that down. So this time we're going to bring both knees in and just give them a nice hug. You can be just flat on the mat. You can bring that forehead to the knees if you like. And then gently release. Bring both legs down to the mat. So I wanted to take a few minutes here. This is our resting pose, true resting pose at the end of our yoga class. We're going to start with a little tense and release. We just really allow each part to rest down to the mat. So I want you to take those toes, those ankles, those calves, glute, that entire lower body, and I want you to squeeze it as tight as you possibly can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And allowing each part to rest a little onto your mat. This time we're going to take our hands, make a fist. We're going to squeeze those hands, those shoulders, those arms, even your abs. We're going to squeeze our entire upper body. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Ease. And release again, allowing each part to rest a little bit more into your mat. So I'm going to squeeze the face. I'm going to squeeze it as tight as we possibly can. Squeezing all those facial muscles. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And then gently release. Allowing that jaw to soften. And even gently smile. To release all those facial muscles that are so tight. So from this point, I really want you to now take a moment, your eyes open or closed, perhaps putting one hand back on the belly and one on that chest. Just focusing on your breath as it is. Perhaps it's changed. And you can daydream here if you like. If your thoughts go elsewhere, focus on that spot just below the belly button. Allowing both the body and the mind to rest for a moment. Now we'll just let it rest. I'm just going to rest here for a few more breaths. Again, want everything to quieten a little bit in your mind, your body, just for a moment. This will be our precious time. It's time to tense again. So allow them to relax, to rest. And we're going to gently, from this next breath, we're going to come into a fetal position on either side. This is a great way to come back to seating. So we're going to come back, we're going to come into a fetal position. Take a moment here if you like. And then gently using either your right, depending on which side you're on, strong arm to come up. And we're going to come back into a seated position to end our class. So you can be on that block, you can be in hero's pose. If easy pose is not comfortable for you, you don't have to be on a block either. But it does release those knees and hips a little. And so we're sitting up nice and tall, bring those shoulders up, back and down. I'm just going to do one more gentle twist to end our practice. So we're going to, if it's comfortable on those arms, we're going to bring those arms up and gently twist. Or you can go back to that original twist we did. So gently looking to the side. Maybe at the end of the practice, you have a little more flexibility to be able to open up that shoulder. And if not, just gently look to the side, no judgment. So hard on ourselves sometimes. And then we'll come back to center. Inhale those arms up. This is in your practice this morning. And then gently come to that other side. And again, you can just gently look to that left arm. You can open up that shoulder, gently look behind. But again, listen to your body. And then we can inhale those arms up and bring those hands to our heart center. If you were doing the other option, just bring your hands to heart center. As we end today, I would like to thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you have a fabulous Friday. I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me for Operation Rural Resilience.